I need you to do something about it.
Damn, Mr. in the dark world is shade.
Yeah. It's little bro and a nigga.
Especially when you got
I don't
the
even
baby
respect
degree.
your doctors.
And then
I
what
don't even
happened?
care.
Mr. Hill.
Intentional.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So Bill Cosby was once one of the highest paid entertainers in the world. However, in a sign of his plummeting financial fortunes, the 86-year-old disgraced former comedian is being sued for defaulting on a $17.5 million mortgage for his New York City townhouse. The coveted Upper East Side home, on which the patriarch of the much-loved Cosby Show was unable to maintain mortgage payments, is part of Cosby's downward financial spiral. At the height of his powers, Cosby was worth $400 million. The townhouse was a surprise gift to his wife Camille. It was a savvy buy. Cosby purchased the house through a lawyer for $6.2 million in 1987, during the peak years of the Cosby Show.
Try to get me fired from my job, so I would say I'm a little biased, but
How? Now we're talking. Here we go.
Which job?
good question. Temple. It was my first job as a professor. I wrote Bill Cosby had gone to Spelman and spoken out against black men, and you know, for me, it's important. I remember when he did to stand up and.
He didn't speak out against black men. He spoke out against the shit that they was doing at that particular point in time.
He said black men all around the country are sending out their sperm everywhere, and they're not being. Basically, he was. I think sometimes it's important to have some perspective and not demonize all black men. Y'all might disagree, but I think we should defend and protect the dignity of black men and not assume the worst in all.
If you feel that way, why you don't want to protect? If you feel that way,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yo, can I get my scooter? Wait, hold on. If you feel that way, then it doesn't apply to Bill Cosby.
What do you mean? What did I do to Bill Cosby that didn't defend his honor?
It don't apply to the men that you talked about the other day when you said you don't empathize with the men, but you empathize with the women.
That's not what I said. But when I said,
oh shit, trying to call back.
When I said what I just said, I was saying that sarcastically. Just now, I was making a joke because y'all always say I don't defend black men, so I was saying.
Oh, so you wasn't serious? What you said?
I am serious about defending black men, but the irony wasn't lost on me. The whole point of me saying it was like y'all might not agree with me, but I think we need to defend black men. I was saying that as a joke, like.
Oh, it's sarcastic.
Yeah, I didn't think y'all don't defend black men, and I wasn't. I think it's y'all defend black men on steroids.
I think Bill did enough standing on a high horse that now when people go ahead and push back on him, I'm not.
This nigga's crazy.
I'm not mad at your take on Bill.
Jiu-jitsu or
Y'all
karate.
defend black men on steroids.
So
go ahead.
So this is what my whole point was. Bill was stigmatizing all black men and particularly poor black people. Right? He had no analysis and nothing else. He's like, you know, if you steal pound cake and you get shot in the ass by a police officer, you shouldn't have stole the pound cake.
I understand.
That's easy to say when you ain't got to steal pound cake. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So I was just saying we gotta have this conversation. Bill could have had a different response to me.
It's also easy to say when you're a piece of shit behind the scenes and nobody gets a chance to really see how you really living. The things you've done in your past. So I'm not. When people had that reaction to him, I'm not mad at all because he did do a lot of talking down to black folk, especially in hip hop.
Yeah,
just really degrading it. He did a lot of shit.
So he called your job. Remember, he's an alum of Temple.
Right.
Yeah. And he was on the board of Temple until he mysteriously left the board of Temple after several sexual assault accusations. So he's coming back now. I'm new. Nobody knows who I am. I'm not known. I'm not in the media like that. And this is back in the day when you still wrote op-eds. You know what I mean? If you wanted to have something to say, there was no blogs. There was no you wrote to the newspapers. I was writing 500-word essays on this shit about Bill Cosby. It published in a newspaper. I think it was the Enquirer or the Cleveland, whatever. And Bill calls the president of the university to have something done to me.
Stop.
Yeah.
No, nobody say nothing. I have to keep up. Nigga, what, you crazy, Mark? Mark be trying to get fired from places.
No.
Are you saying that you went to Temple where this nigga's the king?
He's God. He God.
Op-ed
about him
to the newspaper at Temple?
So at that moment, he wasn't God anymore. He was kind of persona non grata. Again, he'd been kicked off the board and not allowed to attend graduation anymore, allegedly. So
I got it.
So I didn't think this was like
that's the public gesturing.
Yeah,
I'm still the man.
You still him.
Parts.
We just remove you visibly.
Yeah, front facing.
But
right.
Nigga, you still can make a phone call and make some shit shake in the back.
He sure can. But
trouble, boy.
That's crazy.
I respect that. Though.
It's principle.
I respect that.
I don't got pissed.
I respect it though.
So hold on. So what happened?
Yeah.
So they called me, and they were like, "Look, we respect free speech, But
However.
You spoke a little too free.
However.
There are actions for your.
They were like, maybe you should consider talking about somebody different. And I was like,
What you do, double down?
no, but Dr. Cosby doesn't understand how the internet works.
Don't do that
that
because he
was
got an honorary. That's
that
fucked
was
up.
His doctor is not honorary. It's real.
not? Oh, it's real. Oh, okay.
It's real. Somebody wrote that.
Oh shit!
And
Crazy nigga is crazy. Yo, come on, Mark.
no
Go ahead,
disrespect.
cook. Go ahead, cook.
So somebody,
Trying to cement this part of the month.
No, he got it. No, he got it.
It's done.
He working on next month.
Ended with a bang.
He working on
he
next
doesn't
month.
know how the internet works. So back then, the newspapers would repost op-eds.
So it looked like you were.
So he called the president the next day when it appeared in the Cleveland, whatever, Plain Dealer, and then the next day when it was in the Sacramento Bee, and every day he kept saying, "He did another one. He did another one." So he's getting madder at me, thinking that I'm like I'm just harassing him. And so he eventually got the thing sort of taken down from the newspapers, at least some of them. So then he decides, I want to start coming back to Temple. He promised to give them $10 million, I was told, in order to start coming back and giving talks about personal responsibility.
Fire.
Right. We still waiting for the $10 million.
Well, you was always going to be waiting for the 10 million.
Right. One thing I respect about him is he gives his money to HBCUs.
Well, I was about to ask you that. Was there at any point in your life
Hush
where
money,
you
nigga.
respect Dr. Cosby?
Yeah, I mean, I still respect a lot of things about him.
So you respect him?
I just don't respect this part of his life. His whole either we fucking or I'm fucking approach to sex. You know what I mean?
I understand. I understand.
Yeah,
I'm down with
that's
that.
not okay.
That's a very
I'm down with not
that's a
that.
very
I'm
nasty
down
way
with
to live,
your-
and then you
your
have to respect anything about
perspective
you.
of-
yeah, and so it's hard for me to see anything else. It's hard for me to see anything else past that for him. So
We fucking or I'm fucking is disgusting.
That's nasty.
Yes. And that's-
Crazy,
That
yo.
is absolutely disgusting.
and that's basically how
Fuck
he
how
moves.
much money you give
That's what
to
a lot of the
HBCUs.
witnesses say is how he moves.
Ugh.
You know, again, I wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I go to an event, one of his events, and I walk up to him during the break.
This is after the op-ed.
This is after the op-ed. This is when he was starting to do his talks at Temple after promising the money. So I walk up to him and I say, "Hey,
Where my bread at?
Dr. Cosby,
What year is this?
2006."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Dr. Cosby, Mark, my name is Marc Lamont. I'm a professor here." He said, "I know who you are." Now, mind you, I walk up to him. He was on stage. I walk up to him. I get on stage. He's sitting where Parks is. I turn to him like this. He's still looking straight ahead. Won't even turn and look at me.
Yeah.
Has big sunglasses on. I know who you are. I said, "Dr. Cosby, I appreciate so much about what you do in our community, what your investment. I just want, my job is to have a structural critique at the same time that you have this critique of personal responsibility. I think there's room for all of that, but we can't just go around demonizing folk." He said, "Mr. Hill, was I fucking with you?" Now, in my mind, this is Heathcliff Huxtable. I'm expecting to hear Cliff Huxtable. I said, "Excuse me?
Nah.
Was I fucking with you?"
You seen the movies with Sidney Poitier?
Yeah.
He'll turn
No, Dr. Cosby. Then, Mr. Hill,
Don't fuck with me.
why are you fucking with me? I was like, you know what? So at that moment, you only got a couple options, right? Because he's at this point 60, 70-year-old man. What am I gonna smack the shit out of him?
You can hook off, but yeah, I feel you.
Probably, right? But who wants to do that, right? You can't do that, right?
No, he right. He right.
You can't cuss him out.
You
This
want to
ain't
hit
fucking
somebody for saying
Back
that?
Woody, nigga. This is fucking. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, he ain't offer him no
Bill
grace.
Cosby, jerk.
Yo.
You can't just handle all your problems
Come on,
with
you know
aggression.
I'm joking. I
I
wouldn't.
don't. You handle problems with aggression.
Oh, this nigga. Oh my God, yo.
What the fuck?
Go ahead,
Fucking
bro.
made a joke about choking ice in the corner, nigga.
I was frustrated at his lack of willingness to engage because he had said before, like, "Come talk to me," right? That's what he said through his channels, right?
What's bullshit?
The next day, he called the president again and said, "I tried to have a conversation with Mr. Hill. He always calls me Mr. and wants to be called Doctor, which I think is weird, right?"
Trying to little bro you.
Exactly, right? He says, "I tried to have a conversation with Mr. Hill, but he refused to listen. I need you to do something about it."
Damn, Mister in the dark world is shade.
Yeah.
It's little bro in a nigga.
Especially when you got
I
the
don't even
baby
respect
degree.
your doctor.
And then what
I don't
happened?
even care.
Mr. Hill.
Intentionally. I know you, doctor. Nah, mister.
But I'm Big Doc.
What happened?
You little man.
You little.
So after that, I told the school, I said, I'm not going to turn up my criticism of him, but I'm also not going to turn it down. If I have something to say, I have nothing else to say about it, right? I'm not going to milk it for attention because I don't like that shit. But if he does something crazy in the world, I got to say something about it, right? And we moved on.
School said it won't be here.
Because the stakes are high when Bill Cosby. You gotta remember, this is 06. This isn't like now when everybody got an opinion, everybody's tweeting all the time. When Bill Cosby gave an NAACP speech, it was the biggest thing that we talked about. It was all over black radio. It was all over news. It wasn't a small thing. It was like Obama saying, and we ain't had no black president yet.
But you already made your stance clear in speaking before. So
and that's why I said, unless he does something else, I ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, you said that. Mm-hmm.
So then I didn't see him again until we were in Amtrak at Penn Station in New York. And I walked past him, and he looked me. He just kept looking at me, and I said, "Hey, Dr. Cosby," and he went,
"Oh."
Kept walking.
It's up forever, nigga.
Yeah, it's up. It was the funniest shit ever.
I respect that. I do.
Yeah, nigga. Don't let the beat
You've been a real thorn in my